Hi guys! In today's video, we will be focusing on releasing the tension in your lower back. You might feel a bit of stiffness, tension, a bit of pain even. Depending on your condition, make sure you seek medical advice if you're unsure. Come and lay down on the back and allow the body to settle in the mat, moving your legs slightly side to side. Engaging in your tummy, tuck your belly button towards the spine to offer some support to the spine, lower back. In and out through the nose. Bring your knee one by one to the chest and squeeze the knees in towards the chest in your child pose. In your baby pose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Let go of your legs, both on the ground. Your arms alongside your body. Lift your shoulders off the mat and look in between your knees. Now bring your knee in towards the chest and stretch the other leg. Bring your right knee, stretch the left leg, and swap again, activating the core. That will help to release the tensions in the lower back. Take your time to move from one leg to the other, not rushing, not stressing the lower back. Bring your both knees back to the chest and let go on the mat. Knees in towards the chest as close as you can and release. Drop the feet on the mat, your heels close to your buttock. You should be able to touch the heels. Keep your hands on the floor, land them through the spine and the back of your neck. And lift your hips off the mat, coming to your half bridge. Keeping your shoulders away from your ears. And slowly come back down. If that's too much for the lower back, come back to your child pose. If that's too much for the lower back, stay on the floor or bring your knees to the chest in your baby pose. Now lift your hips off the mat. Coming back down. Just one more time. Nice and slow through the legs. And come back down. Drop your knees and turn to one side, pushing yourself back up through your hands. And come onto the knees to your all-fours position. Inhale to your co-pose, dropping the tummy down. Make sure you breathe in. Exhale to your cat pose. Inhale to your co-pose. Opening up through the front of the body and the chest. And exhale, cat pose. Sending the shoulders blade towards the ceiling. Inhale, co-pose. Exhale, cat pose. One more time, inhale. Exhale, cat pose. Come back to your all fours position. Send your hips back to your child pose. Open the knees wide. Your hands in front of at the front of the mat. Forehead to the mat. Opening through the shoulders. Keep your tummy in. Push yourself back up. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale, tuck the toes, coming to your downward facing dog. Sending your hips back. Keep a bend in the knees if you need to, your heels off the mat. See where you are at. If you've got the space, of course, drop your heels and straight the legs. Pushing through the palm of your hand. Opening the back of your legs. If that's too much, stay in your child pose. Drop your knees back on the floor. Lay down on the front. Forearms on the floor. Coming to your baby cobra. Lift through the chest. Opening the front of the body. And slowly come back down. Catch your ankle, your hips in the floor. Send your hips towards the floor, your pelvis in the floor. Keep the knee on the mat. And stretch the front of your thigh in your quads. Targeting the hip flexors and the quads is a great way to release the tension in the back. Often holding the hips in the forward position, which is not great for your lower back, as this is pulling in the sacrum, in the lumbar spine. And let go. Your right leg come to the side. And simply rest in this position. In and out through the nose. Bring your leg back down onto the mat. Now catch the other ankle. Bring your heel towards your hips, towards the glutes. Pelvis to the floor, knee on the mat. Lengthen through the quads, through the hips. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. And slowly release. Bring your left knee to the side, opening through the hips. Allow the hips to sink in. Breathe in and out, focusing on the sensation happening in your lower back. And slowly send your leg back down on the mat. Push yourself back up. Come to the child pose. In and out through the nose. Sit back on your heels. Give space to the spine, to your shoulder. And come back up. Bring your knees together. Now send your right leg forward. Coming to your low lunge. Keep your hands on your thigh. And send the pelvis forward and down. Just enough to feel the stretch through the hips flexors. Keep breathing through the nose, lengthening in the spine. And allow the gravity helping, feeling the stretch, opening up more through the hips. And push back up. Take your time to bring your front leg back. Same to the other side. When you are in pain or you feel very stiff, it's important to move mindfully and being aware. Take your time to move from one pose to another. Now your left leg forward, opening through the hip. Relaxing in your shoulder. Slowly push back. Now take your block or the thick book, place it at the back of your mat, sit down on the block, your legs forward, coming almost on the edge of the book of the block. Inhale. And if that's enough for you and you feel a stretch at the back of your legs, then that's fine. You stay here. If you have more space to move, hinge at the hip joint. Make sure to lengthen from the lower back first. Imagine you're trying to reach the sky, the ceiling, getting tall, 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 and then lean forward. You do not have to lean all the way down. You see your see what feels comfortable for you. In and out through the nose. You can also use a strap or a tea towel to keep an upright back if that feels better. Or if you feel like this is very tight at the back of your leg. Keep breathing through the nose. One more big breath. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly push yourself back up. Come and sit on the mat. Have your blanket not far from you. Come and lay down on the mat. Your reverse pigeon pose. Your ankle above your knee. Push your knee as far as you can, opening through the rotator of the hip, targeting your piriformis. If that's not enough and you need more stretch, bring your left leg in towards the chest and hold the back of your thigh. And if you need more, stretch your left leg. That will increase the stretch in your hip muscle. Keeping your hips, your glutes, as much as possible on the mat. Keep breathing through the nose. And release. Same to the other side. Your ankle above your knee joint. Push your knee on the outside if this is what your body allows you to do today. If that feels fine, bring your right knee in towards the chest and catch the back of your leg. Feeling the stretch in your hip flexor, feeling the stretch in your rotator of the hip. And if you're there, then stretch your right leg, increasing the stretch in your hips. and release. Turn over onto your tummy, and before you lay down, grab your blanket, fold it in 2, 3, 4, whatever is there. But have something quite thick to place underneath the hip bone. So come and lay down. Take the time as well to get there. The hip bones are on the blanket and your forehead on your hands. And you stay here as long as you need to. Having the blanket under the hips, a lot of space in your lumbar spine, in the sacrum. It often decompresses the pressure that we've got in the lumbar spine. Now focus your attention on the breath. And breathe through the lower back, sending the oxygen in this area of the body. If you are comfortable and wish to stay in this position, feel free to stay there. Otherwise, push yourself back up through your hands, coming to the child pose. Push yourself back up. Come into your seated pose. One hand on your heart, one hand on your tummy. Big inhale. Exhale. Hands to your heart center. And namaste. Thank you very much for joining me on the mat and following this quick practice to release the back tension. I hope you find this useful. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave a line underneath this video. Thank you very much and see you soon.